And we now proceed to the trapezium. This is now the figure of trapezium. And take note, there's a trivia for trapezium, wherein in US we say the trapezium is also called a trapezoid, which is a pair of parallel sides. Then the trapezium is no parallel sides. That's the difference between the trapezoid and trapezium in the US educational system. If in the UK that we have, trapezoid is no parallel sides and a trapezium a pair of parallel sides. So in other words, there's a swap between this figure representing by the trapezoid and trapezium. Take note with that. And therefore we now have here this kind of trapezium since they are pair of parallel sides. So we are focusing that this one is in the field of US na the US base of the metric system. Now, to get the area of trapezium, this one is for UK because a pair of parallel sides. Then this one is trapezium. So in other words, this figure now is represented by the UK part. But take note, if we dealing with this kind of situation, this one is the tibia, so there is a swap between the two, the US and the UK definition. But go on with the formula for us to be able to get the area of the trapezium appear, since based on if we're going to base our figure, there is a parallel sides, a pair of parallel sides, and then it is called a trapezium. So meaning to say, our concern here is our example of the figure is for the UK educational system. And then if we're going to get the area, the perimeter rather, is we have here get all the sides or the sum of the sides given by the formula A plus B plus C plus D, or A plus C plus B plus D. Take note with that for you to be able to no harm at all as we be dealing with the future discussion of representation for the geometry. Now, given the example, we have here length of two parallel sides of a trapezium are 20 centimeter and 12 centimeter, and the distance between them is 5 centimeter. Find the area of the trapezium. So then again, the area of a trapezium is 1/2 base times the height, the sum of two parallel sides times the height, since the height is between the two parallel sides that we have. So we now have here 1/2 times the sum of the two parallel sides, 20 plus 12, then times 5, and we now have 20 plus 12, and that is 32, divided by 2, and that is 16, then 16 times 5, and that is 80. So the area now of the trapezium is 80 square centimeter. Now, we say the figure, based on this figure, we're dealing with the parallelogram, and take note that parallelogram, both sides parallel, so represented by A and B. Then we have here the height H. So the area now to get in dealing with the parallelogram is we now have base times height, and the perimeter is equivalent to twice of the sum of the A and the B, the side values. For example, find the area of a parallelogram of base 12 centimeter and corresponding altitude 8 centimeter. So therefore we now have base is 12 and 8 is the altitude. So 12 times 8 is 96 square meters, square centimeter rather. So we now have the area of a parallelogram, which is 96 square centimeter. The next figure is represented by rhombus. When we talk about rhombus, all sides are equal, so it is just represented by L side and given the height, because the rhombus is just somehow, it is a slant figure So we now have here, to get the area is length times the height, L times H. Then we have now 4 times L as to get the perimeter. For us to understand further, let's now have here a figure, example rather. So we now have, find the area of a rhombus whose diagonals are length 16 centimeter and 12 centimeter. And take note, the product of the area of a rhombus is half of the product of its diagonals. So we now have the first diagonal is 16 times the second diagonal, which is 12, times the 1/2. Then the product of its diagonals is, we now have here 96. So the area now of the rhombus is 96 square centimeter. And I have here posing your, I want to request further that you're going to pause for a moment with this different kinds of exercises, and hope you like this. I want you to answer everything here up 1 to 8 for this, and try to, and let yourself be enhanced for this, and I will be able to share this one, a video lesson, for you to enhance that whatever it mistake or whatever it might have some corrections or doubts based from your process. Okay, so hold on for this, and let's proceed to the figure circle. So the circle is, we have here from the center to any part of us within the circle, on the circle, is what do you call radius. So the perimeter of a circle is what you call circumference. Another name for the perimeter of a circle is circumference. So the perimeter now is 2 pi r, with the given area of a circle is pi r squared, with the r as representation for the radius. In a given semicircle is half. If for us to be able to get the area of a semicircle, we now have to divide the circle into 2. So we now in other words, we now have 1/2 pi r squared as the perimeter. And then to get the circumference, since we have this is the diameter, which is 2r, and half, since this is the half of circumference of a big of a circle, so half of the 2 pi r is we have here, plus the diameter or the 2r that we have. So that is now the formula in order for us to get the semicircle, the perimeter of a semicircle. And for the quadrant or for the quarter, we now have divide by 4 the area of a circle. Then we come up with the quadrant or the quarter of a circle is 1/4 pi r squared. And we also have the first r and the second r, so we now have 2r. Then since this is the quarter part of a circumference, so since the circumference is 2 pi r, the quarter with this is times 1/4. So the quarter or the quadrant of a certain sector of a circle is 1/4 times the 2 pi r plus the 2r. Then we come up with the example. The radii or the radii of two circles are 18 centimeter and 10 centimeter. We're going to find the radius of a circle whose circumferences is equal to the sum of the circumferences of the two circles. Okay, so since if we are going to get the circumferences of the two circles, so since find the radius of a circle whose circumference is equal to the sum. So meaning to say, we're going to add it up, the first circumference of this circle, which is 18 centimeter as its radius, so 2 pi plus times 18, and then the other one, we're going to get the sum of this, another circle which has a radius of 10, 2 pi times 10. Then we now have 2 pi times 28 centimeter as the sum of the circumference. Since the circumference all throughout the figure or all throughout the formula of the perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r, then if we're going to divide both sides by 2 pi for us to remain the r that we have, so cancel this one, so the r now is equal to 28. What does it mean? It means that the circle, the circumference of base of what we asked for is the radius of the certain circle is what we have asked here is 28. So the radius of a circle is 28 centimeters. From this, with the relationship that we have, wherein the circumference is equal to the sum of the circumferences of two given circles. Next is we have another set of examples, which is there is a circular path of width 2 meters along the boundary and inside a circular part of 16 meters. Find the cost of paving the path with bricks at the rate of 24 rupee per square meter. Then use the 3.14 as the pi. So considering this one is our circle, then let OA is the radius of the part, and the shaded portion B path is the B there that we have. So OA is 16, while the certain path that we have is 2. So OB that we have now is 16 meters minus 2 meters because the distance of A and B is 2. So we now have 14 meters as its radius of OB. What is asked here is find the cost of paving the path with bricks at the rate of 24 rupee per square meters. Now, in this case is we're going to subtract the area of a big circle to the small circle. So we now have here pi times 16 squared, because the area of a big circle subtracted to the area of a smaller circle, which is the OB as its radius, pi times the square of 14, so with a square meter as its unit. So therefore we now have pi 30 times 2, and that is 60 times the 3.14, and we come up with 188.4 square meters. This is now the area of the shaded portion or the path that we have. Then cost of the paving the bricks is 24 rupee per square meter. So 24 rupee times 188.4, and we now have here 4,521.60 rupee as the cost of paving the bricks. So that is now how to cater the different perimeter and the area of a certain plane figures, including the circle as not the polygon. So thank you for this matter, and hope you like this video. And if you want to know further, to learn more further, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for the future lesson. And just do not also forget to like